Hey, welcome to Steve McGrath's Basecraft. So I'm here on the hosting site for my podcast and I'm just having a look at the analytics, and I'm really happy to say that we've had more downloads in January than we had in the whole of November or December. So yeah, it's only 2 weeks into January, so I'm pretty happy with that. Thanks a lot for all the shares and likes and the support. I really appreciate it, and especially all the messages. Keep messaging me on Instagram, stuff to do with bass, the podcast, whatever, drop me a line. And I'm looking at the locations where the downloads were from. And it's really interesting to see that 53% of the downloads are from the United States. I didn't expect that. And I have very few downloads in the United Kingdom, so guess got to get the word out there. But anyway, we're also got some people in Spain, Canada, Germany, Australia, but most interestingly, 6 people are listening in Thailand. So whoever you are listening in Thailand, drop me a line. Let me know what bass players we should check out in Thailand. And what's the story? How did you find the podcast all the way over there? But it's great to see it growing. And if you could just keep subscribing and sharing and liking the episodes, I'd really appreciate that, because that's how you support me. And well, you can buy a t-shirt or some merch on my Basecraft website, or you can drop a donation into my PayPal account. But anyway, on to today's guest. So today we have Paul Del Bello. So Paul is an Italian bass player. He is the lead singer and bass player in Dobermann. They're a class band, real rockin' band. He's played over 2,000 shows so far in his career, which is crazy. I can't even think of that. Like, you'd have some sore arse from sitting in a van for that many hours on the road. And but Paul also runs a YouTube channel, and it's called at Paul Del Bello. And he started out doing a lot of kind of playthroughs of his favourite bands like Kiss and some Tin Lizzy and Motley Crue, that kind of stuff. But lately he started making these kind of cool mini documentaries. And I have to say, I'm loving them. I'm a total geek for that stuff. I loved all those old shows, classic albums and all that kind of crack. So he's really good at it. He has a good voice for it. And the editing is perfect. And the info he's given out is great. And I think it's doing really well for him, because we filmed this before Christmas, and I said to him, "You've got 20,000 followers," and he said, "Oh, well, nearly." Well, he has about 21,000 now today, like when I checked. So keep it going, man. You're killing it. But his main gig is with Dobermann, and they just released a trailer for their new album, which is out this year. So I'm putting a link to all Paul's stuff and, of course, Dobermann and the trailer for the new record down below in the description. So be sure to check that out. So we'll just jump in, and I'll see you soon. I've been loving your YouTube channel, though. I kind of had a good look at it last night, and
Okay.
it's really fun. Like, I was loving your little mini documentaries. I was thinking,
Yeah, I just started with it. That's one thing, because I do a lot of covers, but I'm getting bored about of doing them. So but I think people like it, so it's going good so far.
but you did like a few things about like Kiss songs that Gene Simmons didn't play on and stuff.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
because I didn't know about it actually. Because I did this video, like there's no bass in the 80s Kiss music, right? And then I did some research, and I found out that there's a lot of songs where it's not even playing. So I went, I thought it was interesting, because I'm a big Kiss fan, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't know that, like, there's in nothing. So it's not that common knowledge.
That's kind of crazy, isn't it? That he wouldn't have played bass on the song.
It is, because he's singing maybe on the song. He wrote the song, he's producing the song. Why didn't you want to play bass on it? I think it was just lazy, so.
Got me thinking, like, I don't think Kiss get enough recognition as musicians and songwriters as they deserve. Like, people, they say like, oh, they got the makeup and that was cool, but the songs are really awesome rock songs, and the
I
playing
love
is
this,
great.
especially in the 80s, like, because he was working with the best songwriters at the time. They worked with Desmond Child, of course, Bryan Adams, and some more I can't remember, but yeah, they're amazing songwriters, like both of them. So yeah, for me it's one of my favorite bands. Kiss is like, it's been a lifelong love.
Without Kiss, like, rock music wouldn't be the same, because every time you see like a rock guitarist being interviewed, he'll say, I saw the Kiss album and I bought it and that got me into guitar. Like, their influence is massive. It just reaches so far.
It is like Ace Frehley, because everybody tells it's not that good of a guitar player, but everybody's influenced by him, you know. So it's like
Exactly.
a weird thing, you know. It's like the guy that nobody really likes, but everybody like. So yeah.
Likes to listen to. I think you're from Turin. I was reading.
Yep, Turin.
A small village though, is it?
Well, I was born in a small village. Now I live in Turin, but yeah, I was born like in a small village in the mountains. So yeah.
What was the rock scene like growing up then?
Oh, amazing, man! No, there was no rock scene. Like
Playing bass to sheep or something.
yeah, hey, I hear my bass solo. No, I actually started on guitar. So we had like this cover band. You know, we used to play pubs and stuff, and that things like moved on from there. You know, to bass and a few thousands, you know, of gigs down the road. So
Yeah, you started Motor City Rags. Was that
yeah,
that was a rock band, was it?
it was that was like a punk rock band, but you know, I was singing also. So that was like my first, you know, original band, you know, because before that was just covers. So yeah, we got, you know, that got me some experience because I started really, you know, booking dates and booking tours, because we actually toured in Germany, and you know, so that's how we got started. Like a few years, we didn't really do nothing, you know, because we recorded a couple of CDs, but it was just local, you know, local stuff, local crowds. So, but yeah, it was I guess, you know,
The start of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, what made you start singing? You weren't singing before this band. What made you think I'm going to take? Because bass and singing is difficult. Is a difficult combo.
It's so difficult. Well, the thing is, like, I didn't really know I could sing. Well, I couldn't sing back then, you know, but I wanted to try because that was after hearing Motorhead, actually, because, you know, I heard that album, that band, I said, whoa, I can do this, you know, I want to do this. So we started, it was that kind of band, like really fast and you know, kind of punky. So yeah, but it's been like a long time before I really got into singing, you know, so started taking lessons and, you know, and singing proper, which I hope I do now. But
no, you put up a Tin Lizzy cover recently. It was sounding great. Like it was kind of
yeah. I'm a big Lizzy fan. Like Phil Lynott, you know, is one of my heroes, you know.
Yeah, actually, you pronounce his name right, but everyone in Ireland pronounces it wrong, including me. I always call him Phil Lynott, but
it's Lynott, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But his daughters were on the TV recently, and they said it's Lynott. That's the way he pronounced it himself. But we call him Phil Lynott. I don't know why.
His daughter Sarah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had this song Sarah. You know, it's about a daughter.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
in the video. Yeah, okay.
Really nice song. Kind of a nice acoustic guitar part.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was a very good songwriter, unbelievable, like simple, but like, you know.
Is that why you have the reflective bass, the scratch guard?
It is.
Is that a tribute to Philo?
Well, it is. Yeah, I also have a P bass. That's, you know, this like a 1982, which is, it's not the same he used, but it's, you know, the kind of bass. But yeah, I put the mirror pick guard on the jazz bass. Yeah, that's for because of Tin Lizzy. Yeah, definitely.
I saw his signature model. It's like 10,000 euros.
What?
So, something like that. The Fender brought it out this year, so I'm going to buy a Harley Benton for like 100 euros.
It's a brand new. Like they actually made it just this year.
Yeah.
Fender Precision. Okay.
With the mirror pick guard and everything, fill in it.
10 grand. Like, come on, please.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, I just make a fake version. I wouldn't like you. Just get the screen.
Yeah, you should try sell that one for 10 grand. You know, maybe somebody would buy it. Yeah,
I'll start put them on eBay. Yeah, this is the real deal, and I'll make my own certificate. No, I won't. But you only play Fenders, though. I noticed from watching your channel. You don't have any other type of bass.
No. I have a jazz bass, a P bass, and I also have a Japanese jazz special. But yeah, it's all like I tried to play a Thunderbird and a Music Man back then, but I don't know, I mean, it's cool for one night, you know, it's good for one gig or for one song. I actually did play some other basses in the songs because, you know, maybe in the studio, you know, there's a few basses around and I like to try like a Rickenbacker, you know, but it's just, I don't know, it's just because also I have like very small hands and for some reason, yeah, you can see that now, but, you know, for a bass player, I have like small hands. Look,
yeah.
You know, so,
I have massive hands. I can even do that dislocated thumb thing that Jacko can do. Not that I can play like him, but I can dislocate my thumbs.
I can't do that. So I need like a jazz bass for the fast parts and a P bass. And you had to like, you when you need a bigger sound. So, but I'm not really, I don't like to collect stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. Well,
I'm saying that with the wall of basses.
I'm the same. I only have 25, but I don't like to collect basses.
Everyone freaks out when they see the wall of basses, but that's it. That's the entire collection. They're just all on the wall.
But you have a few Fenders, I see. You have a
I've a few Fenders and a few just knockoff fake ones, that I picked up. People give me broken instruments all the time because they know I like to fiddle around as a hobby. So they're like,
you fix them
just for fun, yeah. Like the Rory Gallagher one, you can see hanging up. That was one I did, and my friend did the art on it. Like,
oh wow!
So cool, I'm always just messing around with. So people go, "Oh, I got this broken bass. Do you want it for free?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I just have loads of them.
I like to fix stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you need an expensive bass to get a good sound. Like just decent pickups, really. Like
I actually used a Mexican P bass for years. Like and it was just fine. It's more the hand, I think. If you have a good hand, I think it's easier. Probably like American instruments, they feel like easier to play, and they have a slightly better sound when recording. You can hear that when you're recording, but like with modern technology, I mean, you can make any crap bass sound decent, and live there's no, there's not that much of a difference between a good bass and actual
no, not really. My main bass is always in the van with the band, and I've only had it at home now because of the whole situation, and I realized how noisy it is. Like it's just making all these crazy buzzes and feedback, and I'm like, oh, I never heard them with all the gigs I've been doing.
You hear it in the headphones, you do, oh, whoa, what's up?
Yeah, this is bad. How did the new record go with Dobermann? How did the recording go?
Oh, we're very happy. I'm very happy with the result. We work with this Alessandro Del Vecchio, producer guy, which is a kind of renowned guy for AOR, and melodic rock. So we did a really good job. We try to keep it as live, as real as possible. So there's not that many overdubs like in the previous records. There's no triggers on the snare and the kick. So yeah. So we're going for a kind of a raw sound and see how it goes. But we're very happy with the result. I don't know when it's coming out yet because it's hard to make plans, but it'll be sometime around, I think, springtime or late spring or early summer 21. So yeah.
And was it your last record? Was that the last record for Dobermann? Was the first one in English, or have you done a few?
Yeah. Well, we recorded 2 albums in Italian, 2012 and 14, and then we recorded like an EP in English. And then we recorded this Pure Breed was 2017. Yeah, that's a first full length in English, So yeah.
Why did you feel that you wanted to change to singing in English? Just because it sounds more like the rock bands you grew up on, or?
No, not really. Well, because I was like, I really wanted to do something in Italian because it hasn't been, that kind of rock in Italian hasn't been done yet,
Yeah.
But yeah, we did these 2 albums, and then we realized that we kind of wanted to really move on and get out of Italy because if you sing in Italian, there's only that much you can do, and Italy's small, and we didn't really, we didn't make like a major success. So yeah, we decided to write because I always write in English and Italian. So we had songs, we just say, okay, let's do an EP in English and go play England. That's what we did.
Yeah.
So we needed a record to go with it. So and then things moved on, and now we stick with English because. So
does your brain think in Italian or English, like when for the inception of the lyrics, kind of?
No, it's both. Because sometimes I think when you write a lyric is just it's a sparkle that counts. You have an idea. It's like a snippet.
Mm-hmm.
Like a title or an idea. Sometimes it's in English. Sometimes it's in Italian because it's unpredictable. It just comes to you. I don't sit there with a notepad and say, oh, now I have to write a song.
Yeah.
When they come, and then you have to be ready to get them. So yeah.
Is it the riffs first or just whatever comes into your head first?
It's whatever comes. Like it can be a riff or a bass line or a drum beat or or lyrics first. Like this album, I had a lot of lyrics before the music, you know, because it's been 3 years without recording. We just been on the road all the time, so I had time to write a lot of stuff. So for this album, we had some lyrics before, and then we added the music, and vice versa. So it's different. Every song it's different. There's no like, you know.
I actually came across you while I was on tour with my own band in Spain. I saw your Dobermann
Really?
posters.
Oh,
You must have been
where was
touring
it?
around the same time. I can't remember. Kangas, maybe? You know the venue in
Oh,
Kangas?
Salazón, yeah,
Salazón,
Salazón,
yeah.
Kangas, yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, we do it. I check also. You played in the UK. We do more or less the same
circuit.
You know, same venues. Yeah, same circuit. And the Spanish was a really good one. You know, they have good venues down there.
Yeah, really, they're great. They're good. They're brilliant fans of music. They love it.
Yeah. So did you? How long have you been touring Spain for?
I think we've been going there for like 4 or 5 years, and we usually go for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks.
Wow.
But Ireland is tiny, so the distances are crazy for us, like 7 or 8 hour drives. Like
it's brutal, like, you know.
It's brutal, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to you play like really late, like, you know, short time, 1 o'clock. Like, come on, you know.
No, even worse than that. You get there at like 10 and you're ready to play, and they're like, "Okay, guys, and dinner will be served at 1 a.m. tonight." Like,
yeah, let's go for dinner.
I can't eat dinner at this time. Come on.
Yeah, man, Spain is like it was my favorite country to tour. You know, I just love it.
Yeah, I do too. They're really into it. Like they treat. The way I always say it is, they treat every band as if AC/DC are coming to town.
Yeah, and they have also a very good. They have a very big scene of rock music in Spanish. You know, they have like really big bands, and they have like a good scene of bands. You know, playing rock and singing actually in Spanish. So,
yeah, they have a really good punk scene, I think, and stoner
also,
rock.
Yeah. It's very, very popular. You know, rock and punk music are just very popular.
That's great. Yeah, it's not the same here anymore. Like that would have died a lot. It's a lot smaller, the rock scene in Ireland than Spain. But what was I thinking? The Dobermann project. Did you do that after Adam Bomb? Was that kind of after you finished with the Adam Bomb thing? Was that the project after?
I was already thinking about like kind of leaving, you know, so I was writing music already. So it was kind of a crossfade, you know. So I left Adam Bomb and I had the band already going, because when I wasn't touring with him, I was playing and recording with Dobermann. But yeah, more or less I left one and started with the other.
Well, you did a lot of shows like in that. Was it 6 years with Adam Bomb? Like,
man, yeah,
it was 6
years. Yeah, 6 years straight, and then I did some more, like 2 years more, like later in 2014 or 15. But yeah, like 6 years straight, like 250 shows a year. It was like
that's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was. You can't do that anymore now.
No,
you just can't now. But back then you could do it. We actually did a 100 gigs in 100 days tour in 2007. So. Yeah, you
look really good for a guy who played that many shows. You should be like a decrepit old man. Like, I survived Adam Bomb.
Yeah, I had a lot of repair to do after that, because you know it's we did play Ireland also only once, like 4 or 5 shows, but I can't remember where. We played Cork. I'm sure we played Cork. Can't remember the venue, but yeah.
I noticed you kept losing drummers, so obviously the drummers couldn't hack it. They couldn't handle it.
No, it's just, I don't know. It was just a loop, you know. Like they just came in and they were enthusiastic for the first like 3 months, and then they just started, you know, losing it. And after a year, they were, and also most of them they just walked away in the middle of the tour. You know, they just left us high and dry. You know, from one day to the other, there's no drama. You have a festival to do, so we were kind of used to it, and we were like joking around. You know, once like a drummer just walked away 3 days before the biggest gig.
What was wrong with them? They just couldn't hack it anymore.
I don't know, man. It's drummers. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he just left. So we had like 3 days to go and no drummer, and the biggest festival of the year. So. But yeah, it was normal back then. I say, okay, no problem, we'll get somebody. And we did, and we actually played the festival, and it was great. So, you know.
Were you like burning the candle at both ends? Were you playing music and partying? Maybe that's why the drummers were like, oh man, I can't do this.
Not really. Well, I think it was just, you know, playing in that type of band with this circuit, you know, it really burns you out. Yeah, it burns you out.
Yeah, you have about an hour a day to yourself. Not if you're lucky, but usually you don't. You just get up, drive for 8 hours, go again every day.
Yeah. And it's not like you're playing stadiums, and you don't have a packed house every night. So you really have to love it. You need to love it, because otherwise, after a while, it's just, you just go crazy. It's like being in jail. You have to play every day and you end up hating it. So I think that was the reason, because they all left in the end. But yeah, now I'm very happy with Antonio, or the Dobermann drummer now. So
hopefully he doesn't walk away.
No. I think, we have a special connection. Well, all the three of us, but especially with him, because, we've been playing together so long that, sometimes during a song, because I'm singing, so I don't watch it, I don't watch what's going on. I decide to change something, and he knows.
Yeah.
And vice versa,
telepathic.
It's telepathic. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
That's brilliant.
It is. Yeah.
Do you think you'll keep doing that 3 men in a van thing, or would you like to get a splitter van and a sound engineer and a driver and be able to have a nap and all that?
Oh, man. I'd love to have a driver. I'd love to have a sound engineer, and I'd love to have a Sprinter. Yeah, Mercedes. But yeah,
I thought
can't afford it for now.
I thought you just kept doing that because it's rock and roll.
Yeah, it is. But
I'm a millionaire, but I'm still going 3 men. Yeah,
just for the fun. Just to keep it real, man. Keep it on the road.
Yeah, keep it real, but you'll keep losing drummers if you've just treated them.
Well, we see, because now we haven't seen each other for like 2 months, because we've been in lockdown since end of October. So we speak on Skype and WhatsApp.
The other guys don't live in Turin, do they?
No, we all live in Turin, but it's like we don't live nearby, so we haven't seen each other in a while. But yeah.
But you are Dobermann are really busy gigging, like as busy as you are in the last project, like.
Well, more or less, like we don't gig that much, because first of all, it's harder, because now it's much harder to get gigs, to get like decent gigs. Yeah,
well, you could do a lot of gigs, but they wouldn't be brilliant gigs. You're doing the good gigs, you could do 200 gigs, but some of them could be terrible.
I don't think you can do 200 gigs nowadays. Like I think it's unless you're like a party band or of function band, I think they're called in the UK.
Yeah.
Unless you do that, I don't think you can do it, because there's not enough venues anymore, and not enough people in this kind of circuit, because now there's YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. It's different. 10 years ago was it was easier. It was more venues and more people, so it was really easy to book a tour. So now we do okay. We play. We're really busy. We probably do like 100 shows a year, which is good for our standard. But we only take the good gigs. We don't have to do and play every day anymore. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And do you breathe fire at every gig, or just that special gig?
No, I try to do it every gig. Of course, it depends, because if it's like sometimes the venue owners are like scared, oh man, you're gonna burn the place down. And
we should really let the listeners in on this, because they're like, wow, we're breathing fire now.
Yeah, they're like, what you do, you're breathing fire. I say, yeah man, it's just fire. No, you're gonna burn the place down, it's wood. So I had to demonstrate it, take a lighter, and I say, look man, it's not burning, it's not gasoline. So sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but like on big stages, yes, and that's the best the best shot I get at doing this.
Is there much preparation involved, like, so you don't burn yourself or burn the band?
No, not really. It used to. I did experiment a lot over the years. I used to do it with with. I actually started doing it with like 90% spirit.
Yeah.
80%. It was just horrible, like dangerous, and it was just, we ended up just drinking it. So I moved to what was it, like paraffin or some lamp oil, and then I tried different things, and now I have like a secret mix that I'm really happy with, and you just need to be what you're doing, so but I did it so many times, and almost zero accidents so far. So
how did the crowds react to that? Are they like shocked?
They love it. It's just whoa. Yeah, especially in the small place, because it's really warm, for a second it really goes boom. That's like cool. A flash of light, and it's warm. So if they're close, they can feel it. They're like, oh. So yeah, that's my I say my favorite.
The safety officers would be shitting themselves. They'd be like, oh no.
Yeah. No, but I can't. I try. I keep people away. So we don't. I don't fuck up with that. I mean, I don't fuck around. I just make sure it's safe. So far
that's
so
class,
good.
though. That's awesome. But you were on your YouTube channel. You've started covering theory a good bit lately. Like
started covering what? Sorry.
Musical theory a lot.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And you were telling me before we came on that you were kind of late in life to understand music theory, which I found very interesting.
Yeah, well, it is actually. It's very interesting because until like 3 years ago, like I did like 10 albums and like 2,000 shows, and I swear to God, I didn't know the difference between a major and a minor scale. I knew there was an A major and an A minor chord. Yeah. I knew how to play them, but I didn't know what the third, the root was. I had no idea. And I was trying for like 2 years, to study music. I bought a book, and I was practicing, the scale, the major scale, the modes, but I wasn't really getting it. It was just mindless practicing, And then one night, it was my birthday, and I got my girlfriend. She bought me some weed, as a present. So when I smoke, I become really, with the music, I really hear every instrument. It's a special state of mind. So I go home and start smoking, and I stumble into some video of some kid, on YouTube, and he was like explaining how one of AC/DC's secrets is the use of the Mixolydian scale, And I remember he had this footage of a cupcake with a lot of frosting on top. And he said, this is like a major scale. If you want to, take off some of the sweetness, and he was taking off the frosting, just change the one note, and there was like a moment of clarity, It just hit the spot. And all of a sudden, I understood scales, chords, modes, stuff that I was practicing without knowing what it was, So that night, I understood how music works. Basically, I still know nothing, but now I know. I mean, I know how it works. So it really opened up a world for me. So
now you're putting up some good stuff on your channel, like some licks in the Dorian mode, and you did like is it Ariana Grande song, your own was it reharmonized? That's the word I'm thinking of.
No, it wasn't reharmonized. I just took the isolated track of the vocals, and I just changed the chords within the key, because the song is built with a major melody over minor chords, and I just use the major chords of the same key, and it's a completely different song. And that's the kind of stuff that I would have needed back then to understand. So I made it because maybe there's somebody, in my same position, because it's easy once you got it. But like before that, it's like rocket science,
But
at least for me.
I agree with you, though. There's a lot of bass players out there who are probably practicing all the shapes of the modes up and down the neck. But if they don't mean anything musically to you, there's no point doing it, because you're just running scales. And it'll never sink in, or you won't make music with it or use it.
Yeah, it's all about context, isn't it? If you don't get that thing, it's gonna be hard to use them, like knowing what you're doing. Because now I kind of know what I'm doing. I know that it's like having different colors of your palette. Before I had only one, and now I have like 12.
and do you teach at all? Do you teach bass?
It's just not my thing. I had a few people asking for it, but it's just not I don't have the patience to do it, and also I don't think I'm qualified enough to do it,
I think 2,000 shows is qualification.
Well, I can teach how to book a tour, how to drive a van, how to call the the recovery vehicle, how to escape the police. Yes, but that I have like but I don't think I'm qualified enough to teach music, because it's a very difficult thing, especially if you have young kids. You want to do it right, because
I have to disagree. I disagree with you 100% there. You're totally qualified. You totally are.
You think so?
Oh, definitely. There's people who are too academic at music make terrible teachers. Someone who can explain the Mixolydian scale using an AC/DC song. That's the teachers we need.
That's a guy where here's your endorsement. It's called Signals Music Studio. So if you're a bass player and you're stuck with music theory, go check it out, because it's amazing. Thank you again, Jake Lizio. What's his name?
And Paul might do lessons someday.
Yes,
someday.
From tomorrow. Yeah.
Hit him up.
Hit me up.
How have you found the YouTube community? Because you have you have like 20,000 people following on your channel. Like
Yeah, almost.
that's
Yeah.
a good channel, a decent following.
It is, and really, it all like I started doing covers a few years ago, just for fun, and then I started I decided once to let's put a tab, tablature under the song, and then after like 6 months, just the thing is that YouTube just decides to help you out. It just started showing my video, recommending my video. So for one day, I go to bed, I have like 100 subscribers. I wake up and I have like 1,500. And
Really?
so, what's good? Yeah, that's how it worked. That's what happened. And after that, I started. It's easier, because it's. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it's the algorithm exactly. But I know from my experience that one day, I mean, your job as a YouTuber, you just need to do consistently good quality videos. Eventually, YouTube will get you there because that's how it works.
And have any opportunities come from your YouTube channel?
What do you mean?
Opportunities like, people asking you to play on their songs or to use your music or anything like that?
Well, not really. Only once I actually got an email. I wake up one morning, there's like an email from somebody with at bbc.co.uk, and I say, what the hell, And it was actually some person from BBC, and they were asking if they could use one of my, I think it was like the Clash's Magnificent Seven, the isolated bass track, because I had made a video of that riff, and they wanted to use it because they were putting together an audio documentary, for Spotify, produced by BBC and narrated by Chuck D, the singer of Public Enemy.
Yeah.
So cool. It was like, yeah, of course, you can use it.
Class.
So yeah, I don't know if they did. I say, please give me credits. I don't know if they did, but it's great anyway.
I think you should. I really enjoyed your documentaries. I'd love to see more of that content coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do more. I'm actually working on a video on Nicky Six. Because I have a lot of people asking for it. And there's nothing on YouTube about his bass style. Also, because he's a very simple. He plays very simple.
Yeah.
But there's a few moves that he really likes to do. So yeah.
Yeah, he is fairly self-deprecating when it comes to his own bass playing. He makes fun of his own bass playing. He's like,
oh yeah,
he says, I'm not even a musician sometimes.
I don't understand. It's like everybody says that he's a bad bass player, but he's not the best bass player. He's a bit sloppy sometimes, but who cares, man? Like, people say that Cliff Williams of AC/DC is great, but they all play, road all the time. Yeah. I don't see that big of a difference. I don't know why he's so hated between, in the bass players community.
I don't. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Hey, put out your video and give your case to why Nicky Six deserves some respect.
Yeah, just pay some respect to the man. Yeah,
and
he's an amazing songwriter. Like
the song they wrote some classic hits. Like
Yeah.
And do those videos take a long time with the research and the editing?
Well, I mean, it takes like a couple of days. One day, depends, because also you have to do a research, and then you have exactly the editing, and you have to check everything so it's well done. So I'd say like 1 day or 2 days, but I just started, and I like it, so I do it. I'm happy to do it.
You don't find it stressful at all, this making the videos sometimes when they take ages?
No, I don't. I'm getting kind of good at it because I've been doing videos for like I think 10 years, editing. Besides that, I also did some video clips and some lyric videos. So I'm kind of getting, I'm kind of used to use, video editing software. So it's not, no, I don't find it stressful. I mean, I can live with it.
You're a lot more chilled out than me, because some days I'm just like, I just want to catch the iMac and just throw it out the door.
Yeah, I have to. What do you use to make videos?
I'm just using Final Cut Pro and a Mac, like, so I only got that this year, so there's a lot more options in it than what I used to use.
Yeah, because when you start getting into it, it's like, it's like home recording. When there's like one plugin that does a special thing, you want to try them all, Like
that's the worst.
Yeah, and Facebook and everything, they know what you're after, so they keep, let's try this new plugin, there's a new new reverb, a new snare drum. Like, come on.
Yeah, when I got GarageBand first, I made a demo, and I thought it was the best thing ever, and I showed it to some of my friends. They're like, yeah, it might be too much keyboards. It's like all the plugins were on, like making these crazy sounds.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes less is more. Like
It is. That's what I was about to say. That yeah.
but your bass sounds great on your YouTube channel. I saw you put up your process. It's kind of like 3 layers of bass sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's something I used to. I don't do that anymore. I have like more like 2 layers, one for the low ends and one for the higher frequencies, and then you put them together and then you compress them again. So I don't know. It just sounds better than just one track, But it depends. It's not the same forever. It also depends on what I'm working on, because sometimes it's maybe an instrumental song with a distortion on bass, so they change a little bit, and sometimes one layer is enough. Depends on what the bass has to do.
Yeah, I bounce it to listen to it on my phone usually. I use my phone as my studio speakers for those kind of videos. For like an Instagram or something, because it's like no one's going to listen to this on headphones, so I may as well mix it on my phone.
Yeah, it has to sound. If it sounds good on the phone, it sounds good everywhere, more or less.
You hope so.
Yeah. That's what they tell you, but it's not.
They tell you, but you had some interesting things happen in your career, because I was reading your bio. You played with Steve Adler once. I
did, yeah. It was 2006, I think. And I was playing in a GNR Guns N' Roses tribute, at the time, and they were like my favorite band.
Hey, there's a great bass player, Duff.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite. He's my my favorite bass player, because he's
brilliant.
Yeah, amazing. Just rock, but he has some funky, just perfect. So I was playing in a tribute band, And Sunday I got a phone call from some guy I knew, and he goes like, "Hey, do you want to play with Steven Adler tomorrow?"
Prank
and I
call.
say, "Well, the support, yeah, sure, let's go." And he goes, "No, man, in this band." What do you mean his band? He had fired the whole band because he was doing a lot of drugs at the time, so he was a bit out of his mind, and he needed some Italian musicians to finish off the date. So I drove through a snowstorm. It took me like 8 hours to do 300 miles the day after.
You knew all the songs already, though. That was the brilliant thing.
Yeah, I was ready. I knew all the songs. I thought I knew all the songs. So we did this a few gigs in Italy. It was like, a life-changing experience, because I was just a kid, and I was playing I actually learned to play bass on Appetite for Destruction. So it's like, I didn't even realize what was going on. Sometimes I say, "Oh yeah, Steven Adler," but think about it. It's like you're one of your heroes. Yeah.
Was it hard to take in at the time, to process it? It probably just went so quick, like.
Yeah. I didn't realize what was going on. Just drove and do these gigs and drove again and just play in front of a lot of people, and
There was no time to hang out with him or anything. It was just play the show.
Well, I have a very good story about that, because at the time I wasn't really speaking English.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a good few years ago. Yeah, 14 years ago.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we were there was a support, an American. It was actually Adam Bomb supporting, and the bass player was American, And we were supposed to use their gear. So I was like talking to the bass player, and I was like, "Hey man, can I use your head? Can you give me head? Give me head, please." And he goes like, "Wait, yeah, man, yeah, you can use it, but don't say that, because it's it refers to something sexual." So
he's like, these Italian bass players are very forward.
Yeah, he wants head,
All Americans think we're sex crazy in Europe anyway, so they're like, those Europeans, giving head to everyone.
I don't know what's that.
Yeah, but that's crazy. And that was it then. You never heard from Steven Adler again. It was just
never again. No, it was just like 2 or 3 gigs in Italy. No, it was 2 gigs in Italy. So no, I never heard from him again. I think he never really toured again after that, because it was like, I think it was his last decent tour in Italy or Europe, because I know he played South America but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really, kept up with Steve. But yeah, it was a good moment for me.
And that's how you met Adam Bomb. That's how you started your relationship.
Kinda, because it was like a few months after I was supporting him with my band, with Motor City Brags, and he saw us playing. It was like a Monday night, 300 miles from home, no money, bring all the gear. We were just playing every gig we could, and there you go. We got the gig, and me and the drummer, we left with him and never came home again. Basically, that's what happened.
And you even toured in America with Adam as well, and did
we did we went to New York to record an album in 2011, Yeah, 2011. We spent there like a couple of months, and we did a few shows. So it was not an actual tour, but we did play a few gigs in the New York area. We also played the Irving Plaza, which is a very cool venue. So
That's awesome,
yeah,
getting to go. I mean, I've been to New York. It's great,
you
awesome
have.
city. Yeah, I was in the music shop. No, there used to be a whole street of music shops. I don't think they're there anymore now.
Yeah,
Manny's and the ones Jimi Hendrix and people used to shop in. Like,
yeah, man. When was that? When did you go there?
oh God, I say it was around 2007 or
Okay.
a long
Oh
time
yeah,
ago.
a long time. So are you a LA kind of guy or a New York kind of guy?
I don't even know what that means. So I'm probably a New York kind of guy.
Yeah, because normally if you like New York, you hate LA and vice
Yeah,
versa.
I'll have
So
to go to LA to see like
okay, I'm
the
an LA
most.
kind of guy,
Really,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, New York is just too chaotic, man. Just finding a parking spot,
yeah.
man, like too much all the time. It never stops,
Well, you got
and
to go to
everything.
Austin. That's a great city for in America.
Texas.
Texas, Austin, Texas. The rest of Texas is different. Austin is kind of
Okay,
its own vibe.
okay. So you've been there for like a long time or what?
Not just for a week. Like I was there, and it's a really good live music city. They even have like parking spaces in front of all the venues for
Wow.
musicians, so
Whoa.
that they can
Really?
load
For
in. Yeah,
musicians?
yeah,
This is a special parking spot reserved
yeah.
for musicians. Wow,
And
man.
the council give discounts for attenuators for the musicians for their ears.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know. Is it still like that now? Because
yeah.
15 years ago, it's been.
Because they have South by Southwest there every year. It's like the biggest music conference in America.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really good. But
Yeah.
why were you saying you didn't like New York? It was too busy. It's just too chaotic.
Yeah, it's so chaotic. I mean, also LA is busy and chaotic, but it's different because LA is spread out.
Mm.
And also, I don't know, it's different. New York is like it's skyscrapers, and everybody's cranky, everybody's angry. It's just everybody's on a run. In LA, everybody is like chilled out. It's different. I mean, they're both huge cities, but I don't know, it's different vibe. I like New York too, but I'm more a California type of guy.
You
So
couldn't you couldn't live there anyway because the food is too good in Italy to leave for a very long time. You know.
oh yeah, no, well, that's one thing, yeah, you would miss if you left Italy would be the food. But I don't think I don't really want to go to live, in America. I mean, you go there if you gotta do something.
Mm.
I don't think I could live in Los Angeles. I don't
No,
know.
I'd love to come back to Italy for a tour. I was there once about 7 years ago
Oh, you play
in
there?
Casino, played a festival in Monte Casino.
Monte Cassino. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
near Rome. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, did you tour Italy or just that one
No,
gig?
it's kind of a funny story. In my hometown, there's a guy here, Gino, and he's in the Communist Party in
Yeah.
Italy. And he saw us playing in the venue, and he had a few pints in him. He's like, that was amazing. Will you come to Monte Casino and play for the Communist Party for our festival?" And we were like,
Festa
"Yeah."
dell'Unità.
We were like, "Okay, no problem." So we flew over, and they treated us like rock stars for a week. They gave us free food and free drink, and we
Wow.
played their festival, and we just sat out in the square in Casino drinking and eating for about a week. Like,
Yeah,
it's
man.
brilliant.
That's the amazing thing about being a musician is like, you see places that you wouldn't see otherwise. It's just beautiful.
And where's your favorite place to tour? Is it Spain? Is that where you like to?
It's Spain. Yeah, it's Spain and England, actually. I like, for some reason, which I still can't understand, I love touring the UK. Even if
Really?
it's cold and dodgy, but I just love it. I don't know.
They have
I
good
have a
venues
connection
though.
with it.
They have very good
Yeah, they have,
venues.
it's where it all comes from.
Yeah.
You go play these venues and it's just, I don't know, you feel my band in Italy and you feel my band in England. It's just different. The footage is different. I don't know how to explain.
What I
It's
think
just,
about England is like when you play a rock gig and the older people come to see it, like people in their 70s or whatever,
yeah,
they were teenagers when Clapton
yeah,
and Hendrix were out, and they were watching them, and they're still
yeah,
watching rock
yeah,
music, and they
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
aged in their head at all. They're still they
Yes,
just love it. Like,
and these festivals they have, where everybody's like 60, 70 years old, but they just go out and party and get drunk. They don't care.
no,
We don't have that in Italy or Spain. Like people after 50 or 60, they don't go out that much anymore, I think. The English just don't care, you know. It's
I think that's
just
unique to
great.
England, though. We don't have that here either. Like
Yes.
it's they have Monsters of Rock, and I was at it last year playing, and we just went drinking with all the older fans. Like they
Yeah.
were great fun.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, they want to buy you drinks, you know, they want to
Yeah,
talk to you. They're really friendly. So yeah.
yeah. They don't give a shit. Like they just enjoy themselves.
Can you still go now after Brexit? Can you still go play in the UK, or it's going to be hard for you guys also?
They still haven't figured that out. We're supposed to go there in April for a tour. But they haven't figured out the whole Brexit thing yet.
Yeah.
That's a very complicated issue.
Oh
But
yeah,
we
it's
will.
not going to help anybody.
No, it's going to be weird selling merch and stuff because you're going to a different. Technically, you're not in the EU anymore,
Yeah.
so selling merchandise and stuff. I don't know how that's even going to work. Like,
Well,
I don't.
got,
It'll hurt my brain thinking about it.
yeah. Well, you don't want to be the one that finds out. You know, it's better to leave somebody else to go
Yeah.
tour
Well,
first, and then
you're in Italy and I'm in Ireland, so it'll be exactly the same for you as for me,
yeah.
probably.
How stupid is that? Like, you know, come on.
Yeah.
But whatever. It is
Are
what
you
it
going to
is.
go there with Doberman? Well, next year if the gigs are back, like, and you're allowed to go.
We have a few gigs booked already for March, but I don't know if they're going to happen because, you know, at the moment nobody's booking dates because they don't even know if they're playing, you know, if they're still open in 2 weeks. So I don't know. I mean, we're happy to go to England anytime, but we have to see if it's still feasible, you know, because it might be harder and harder. But I mean, we can't tell now, so we had to wait and, you know, roll with the punches, see how it
Yeah,
goes.
and Germany, you probably head back to Germany as well.
Yeah, well, Germany, Switzerland. Yeah, we have like we play like steadily there. So Spain, you know, France, we have our places, you know. So we're planning to go back on tour after the album is out next year, but at the moment we can't really make plans. So it's kind of stuck in limbo, you know.
3 men in one van again.
3 men in one van. Yeah.
What are you driving?
Sorry.
What do you drive?
What van? It's
Yeah.
like it's an Opel. It's like a Vauxhall, you know, Vivaro.
And are you the driver?
We all drive. We all share
Okay.
the driving. We all, you know, it depends. But yeah, we all drive.
That's killer though.
Nobody's spared. You know, nobody can escape the duty. It's like the army. You know.
Yeah, it is tough though to drive for like so long and then play a gig like that.
Well, it is, but you get used to it. Like you don't really. I don't really mind. Actually, a lot of gigs, like some of the best festivals we played, you know, either with Adam, with Doberman, we just arrived there after driving all night, after playing another gig the night before, you know. But when you get on stage, just the adrenaline kicks in and you just boom, you know.
Yeah.
You just forget about everything. You're not tired anymore. Just your voice come magically back in shape. I don't know.
Well, you're probably indestructible after all those crazy Adam Bomb tours.
Well, yeah, that was like a good training session. So yeah,
Yeah, you've paid your dues.
I did. I definitely did. Yeah, definitely.
You put up a cool playlist on Spotify there a few weeks ago, and you actually had some Daft Punk and stuff, and lots of other influences, not just rock music.
Oh yeah, I always loved electronic music, you know, dance music. So Daft Punk, The Prodigy, the Chemical Brothers, you know, amongst my favorite bands, especially, you know, after after starting to understand music, you know, I went back and now I understand all these magic bass lines, you know, that I couldn't really understand before. So especially as a bass player, there's a lot in dance music and especially modern pop music.
Yeah.
Like Dua Lipa. I mean, she's an amazing singer, but like the guy writing the songs, writing that, you know, these bass lines, it's unbelievable. You know?
It is unbelievable. I've been trying to learn a lot of those grooves during the last few months, and they're hard. They're really hard to play.
They're hard to do. Or Bruno Mars, there's another guy that has a super cool bass player. You know, there's a lot of good. I think modern music has a lot. Also, this trap music, you know, is a lot about bass frequency. You know, like when you hear the modern song compared to a song from the 80s, 90s, or 2000, there's a lot of more bass frequencies, even if they don't have an actual bass, you know.
Yeah, 505 or something.
Yeah,
or 504.
Exactly. It's 808, I think.
808. Oh yeah, 808. Yeah.
The frequency, yeah.
Yeah, the Roland drum machine.
Exactly. Yeah. They have like really boomy bass. So it's a very interesting thing about modern pop, which I do like.
Cool. And do you work on your bass kind of craft a lot? Do you? Is it mainly through listening to, not like learning solos and stuff, but kind of listening to grooves and transcribing them?
Yes, I never was a solo guy. I can't really shred, or I'm not a flashy player. I never was, and I don't really, I'm not into flashy bass playing. I like Flea. I like, but I'm not like a solo kind of guy. So for me, it's more like how the bass sits in the mix and in the actual song composition. Like what can you do? What does the bass bring in? So that's I normally I don't think about bass. I think about song.
Yeah.
So it's like the bass. It's beautiful because you can actually do a lot of things, without getting in the way of the vocals or the guitar or whatever.
Well, the best way to write a good bass line, is without the bass in your hands. Just listen to the song.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hear
yeah,
it.
yeah. I actually write a lot of bass lines with the synth, with the MIDI, because you can listen to it and you don't. Yeah, because when like you say, when you're playing, you maybe there's this lick I want to try, or this trick I really wanted to put somewhere, So yeah, that's a good idea to work on a bass line with a MIDI player.
But also lately, I've been finding out I was doing that solo thing myself a lot for the last few years, because I hadn't really studied it much, and I was transcribing a lot of jazz guys and stuff like that. But lately I've been deep diving into what you're saying, like grooves and how the bass fits in different songs. And there's just as much to get into in that side of things as trying to get into solos. But I'm getting more benefit out of getting into the grooves and deep diving into different songs and stuff.
Yeah, because also it's like you as a bass player, that's kind of your job, You're the glue between the rhythm and the melody, So I mean, it's good to be able to do a solo. I think, of course, it's cool. Also, you learn the notes and you learn a lot of stuff. But I think the real bass player, it's being able to glue the drums and the guitars or whatever, or the keyboards together.
And I think the pick playing is getting more popular as well at the moment. Bass players playing with a pick, like.
What do you do? What do you do? You pick player or fingers?
Well, I only started playing with a pick in the last few years. So I wrote a few bass lines for the band that I had to play with a pick. So I'd get in 10 minutes pick practice every night.
Okay.
So now
it's different. It's a different color you can have. It's good to know them both. I don't think you can really master both. You probably one, it's your thing, and the other. But yeah, it's good to have both options.
Yeah, I like the pick.
I'm a pick player.
Yeah, and you're class at it, like getting that rock. Have you tried to pick funk? Like Bobby Vega, that kind of.
Oh yeah, oh man, yeah.
And that's just a different sound altogether.
It is. But you can be a good funky player with a pick also. So
yeah, you should get yourself a short scale bass. That's the only thing you're missing.
Why?
Because they just have a really unique sound, and they make you write different bass lines.
Really? Do they have what? They have an actual different sound.
Yeah, they're kind of thumpy, kind of.
Okay.
And they every time I pick one up, I always just play like grooves and simpler bass lines.
Okay.
So there was one for sale in Ireland there recently for €300. It was an Epiphone Flying V short scale. I was thinking Paul would love this bass.
How many frets do they have?
I think just same as the norm. Was it 19, 20?
So how come it's shorter?
Shorter scale length, so the frets are closer together.
Oh, so it's just smaller. So they have the same number of frets. Okay, yeah. I thought they had less.
Yeah, they don't call it a 3/4 length guitar.
Okay,
it's not exactly they call it short scale, but they just have a really cool sound, and when you pick them up, you just play differently. A lot of people are playing them. They're becoming really popular at the moment.
Okay. No, I never tried one. Do you like fretless basses?
I just have that one in the back there. It's like an old Tanglewood that I made. I took the frets out myself.
You did?
And made it into a fretless, yeah.
Well, you did take the fret.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Like now you had to.
First off, just get like a soldering iron. A soldering iron.
Yeah.
And kind of heat the frets so that the glue will melt and then pop them out with the pliers.
Yeah.
And then you just need to, if you do what Jacko did, you just get epoxy resin, that kind of glue.
Yeah.
And you just fill the frets with that, and then just kind of give them a good sanding down with the right
Okay.
grit, and it's easy. There's a good few things online to do it. I did a second one where I put fretliners in, so I got like pieces of wood, like veneers of wood, like it's like a millimeter thin veneer
Yeah.
of wood,
Yeah.
and I cut them to size, and I slotted them in where the frets used to be, and then I finished it. So you had a little veneer fret marker on every fret.
Cool, man. Yeah, yeah. It's fretless. It's a good thing to have because you can do. He has a unique sound. That
Yeah.
guy from Aerosmith uses a lot of
Mm.
fretless bass. In a lot of famous songs. So also
But
Sting.
you can use it in not the most typical way. Like if you put on some distortion and some chorus, fretless bass sounds amazing.
Yeah, I never tried that.
Oh, it's class with distortion. It's great fun.
Okay. Do you like to mess around with sounds like you?
Yeah, I have a lot of pedals, but more and more I just use plugins for the different sounds. Because at the end of the day, you're just chasing sounds. You're not chasing the best pedal. So I just use what's on the computer a lot to get weird sounds. Yeah. And I also am a bit lazy for plugging in the pedal board. It's a bit of effort, isn't it? Plugging in.
It is. I don't have one. I'm the laziest. I have no pedals, like zero.
Are you serious?
Straight into the amp. Yeah, I don't use pedals. I never use them because it's just a mess. The cable and just problems. I tried with the wah pedal a few years ago.
I thought a wah would suit you. Like it would be kind of rock.
I have it. I have a wah pedal, but just I don't know. It's just too much work, and for one song, I don't know. I'm just lazy.
Not like even distortion, like fuzz pedal. You wouldn't.
No, I had distortion on all the time, a little bit. It's like I use I have a Gallien-Kruger head with distortion, so when I need it, it's there. So also, because when you're singing, you can't really pay attention that much to what you're playing. It's more an automatic thing. So the less distractions you have, the better it is, in my experience. So I try to keep it simple.
Do you kind of have to change your bass lines so that you can sing, or do you just make them whatever way you want and find where the singing will fit?
Well, normally I try. It's kind of a midway, because I can't do stuff too complicated, but I don't want to do too simple stuff also, so I kind of had, in the end, I always learn it. So I might not know the bass lines for the new album now, but I will by the time I go on tour. So,
Some of Sting's bass lines are crazy when you try and sing them and play them. It's like doing this, like rubbing your head, tapping your head and rubbing your belly or something.
What I always say is like playing bass and singing at the same time. It's like I'm having this conversation with you, and meanwhile I'm chatting on WhatsApp with someone else about something else at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how hard it is for me. It's just muscle memory. You have to build muscle memory. It takes ages. It takes like probably 100 repetitions for me. But someone's got to do it. So
Phil Lynott was brilliant at it. He kind of if you listen to Live and Dangerous or something, you never would think that guy is playing the bass because there's such personality to the way he sings and the way he phrases the words. The bass and his voice are very different, like what they're doing.
Yeah, it's the soul of Thin Lizzy. It's like the bass and the voice. It's amazing. He was an amazing bass player. Amazing, simple stuff. Well done, that.
But it's great that people are still appreciating Thin Lizzy and that they're.
Yeah.
I think they left a kind of a mark on rock music with the dual lead guitar and.
Yeah, they did. They did, and also they didn't. They stopped at the top of their game. So it's kind of a mighty thing because, then he died. So they couldn't do no reunion, no like play till they're like 70 years old,
No.
So the memory is kind of intact. So I think,
You didn't visit his mom. She passed away there, I think it was 2 years ago. But before she passed away, when you were in Dublin, if you called out to her house, she would invite any Thin Lizzy fan in to the house.
Really? Seriously?
And she had a whole room with memorabilia from Philo's days in music, but she also had a cardboard cutout, a life-size one of Philo.
Wow.
So you could get a picture with Philo, the cutout of Philo, his
mom.
Did
you go?
And no, unfortunately, I never did, but I've seen loads of people went. It's just one of those things, you keep putting off and then you put it off for too long.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for coming on. You were my first Italian guest.
Thank you for having me, man. It was a pleasure. Cool.
I was reading a bit about Italian history before you came on. Well, I was waiting for you to come on.
Well, about the country.
Well, it's kind of like a connection to Ireland. Like all the chippers, the chip shops where you get like, they're all Italian in Ireland. All the good ones are Italian.
What for? I thought we were good at making spaghetti, not chips.
Not in Ireland. So I was reading that this in 1880, this Italian immigrant was getting the boat to America, but he got off in Cork and he walked to Dublin, and then he got a load of spuds, and he thought they were chestnuts, and he started frying them, and he made like chips, and they started the first chipper. So now every chipper, like, so most of the chippers in Ireland, their families from near Casino, up in the mountains there, like, so.
Wow, there you go.
So yeah, that's a completely useless piece of information to teach.
I know, I didn't know that. It's good, you know. You always, every day you learn something new, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just figured, like, there's no point trying to sell, like, spaghetti to Irish people.
Yeah.
We'll just fry spuds, potatoes, as you call them.
Easier for the hangover.
Yeah. I don't drink as much anymore, like, I just can't handle the hangover. When you get older...
I know, man. I know.
I will have a few over Christmas, though, when I have no work to do, like, so...
Yeah, it's just horrible, you know, because you used to like drink, 10 pints, or maybe not 10, but like 8, and just go play, and the day after you just get up, and you're ready to go. And it's like, it's kind of harder, but yeah, never give up.
Yeah, I got a gift of a bottle of whiskey in Leeds a few years ago, and I drank the whole thing practically.
Oh shit!
On tour, well, most of it anyway. I'm sure the drummer could have put a good dent in it as well, but. The hangover the next day, I could barely play.
Same in one day, just the whole bottle in one day. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I couldn't play the next day. I could barely stand up, like.
Yeah, like your hands are shaky. You can't hold the bass. It's just I'm more a wine kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah, it's like but the hangovers are like just unbearable. So
Dobermann should have signature beer, like some.
We're more wine kind of guys, so yeah, we should get like our.
The Italian wine is amazing.
Yes, it is. Well, you can get good wine pretty much everywhere, but Italian wines Spanish ones are really good also.
Yeah, Portuguese, the white wine. When we were on tour in Portugal, the white wine was amazing.
You know what? Portugal is the only country in Europe where I haven't played. I was never able to book a gig. Where did you play?
We just played in like. Some club. It was like run like by a bunch of musicians. It was okay, but they don't have a lot of money in Portugal, so it's a long way to go for those shows. From Spain, so they don't have as strong a scene as they do in Spain, even though they're connected to each other.
Is this you guys? You're just musicians, or you have day jobs?
Well, I teach guitar, and I do a bunch of stuff with Zoom. I'm doing like songwriting workshops at the moment for like the local council. So tomorrow morning I'm teaching kids how to write a Christmas song, and then tomorrow evening I'm teaching 2 rock bands how to write rock songs. So one song sounds like AC/DC, and the other song sounds like Evanescence.
Yeah. So do they send you demos and you actually help them out?
No. So the first week we did like a story, like an idea board, we plotted all the ideas for lyrics on a board, and then the whole band were on Zoom. So the guitar, I said does anyone have any ideas? And the keyboard player had like 3 or 4 minor chords, and that was it. That's the start of a song. And then they all start contributing ideas, and then the singer comes up with a melody over the chords, and then I make a demo on GarageBand during the week of their ideas. Like with the drum, I do all the instruments and email it. So
you're producing the band.
Yeah. Myself and the drummer from the band. So we made the GarageBand demo. So they'll listen to that all week, and then they'll bring their work for the next week. So it's like band practice, but they're only like 10 and 12. Like.
Oh, they're like kids. Oh, kids.
They're kids.
Oh,
they're like 10 and 12.
Oh wow. Cool, man. Can you do it? Does it feel like good to do it on Zoom? Because
I think it's better.
Weird.
I think it's better. Because how could you control 7 kids in a room with instruments?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, please. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Guitars, noodling.
All the time. Yeah, man. Actually, yeah.
But we'll meet up once the song is nearly finished, which it is. We'll meet in person when it's finished. Like, but until to get to it has like most of the ideas in it now. Like, have you ever thought of doing something like that yourself? Like but I suppose you need the opportunity. Like,
Well, I think I could do it because I kind of, I also compose electronic music. Like I write music all the time, So it's not just Dobermann. I have a lot of demos and stuff I do for, So I think I could do it, but I never really, as you say, you probably need like an opportunity or.
Well, like you said, I'm not experienced enough to teach, but you're 100% experienced from touring and writing songs.
Yeah, that I could do. Like, that I could like, help somebody out. I mean, because I see myself younger, not to do the same mistakes I used to do. That's one thing that that I could do. Yeah, I can't teach music, but that's something I could do. Maybe I will someday. I'd like to have a studio like. This is not a real studio, I have like a computer, but I'd like someday to have like an actual studio. So you never know. But I think you're doing really well with your channel. I mean, I see you just started, but you're really professional. You do very interesting stuff.
Thanks. I only started in July, the YouTube channel. So
a few months. So why did you start? Because you wanted to.
It was lockdown. It was lockdown, and I was just thinking I have to do something, and. I've always wanted to do the YouTube, but I didn't think the quality would be good enough. So I bought like a good camera, and I should have started though, because the webcam I had would have been good enough to start on YouTube. I shouldn't have waited till I had the good camera. That's one mistake I made.
Because it also, like, when I make stuff, the first advice I would give to a new YouTuber is like lower the bar, because people don't care, people don't know, they don't give a shit. You always think you're not good enough, but you are, that's it. Because you see a lot of stuff that people don't see,
Exactly. Like, I was kicking my ass for the first few videos. I literally would spend a week making them, about 7 or 8 hours a day.
That's it.
It was crazy. Like, I was finding every fault with it and fixing every little hiccup in the bass, but I'll never.
It becomes easier then, Because also me, like, now I started doing talking videos. I never made talking videos because, I'm afraid people, will laugh at me because of my accent. So,
Yeah. Oh my God! I forgot the other famous Italian YouTuber, Davey 504.
Oh, Davey, man.
You've never met him, no?
No, I never met. But he's amazing. Like, I've been following him for a long time. It's just. He's a great bass player. First of all, he's fantastic, and he's so funny. I mean, he's making the bass popular.
Yeah.
Among kids, So, and they get used to listen to the bass because most people don't even know what a bass is.
That's so true, though. I have guitar students. They come in to me to learn some guitar, and they see my bass in the corner, and they're all saying, "I want to learn the bass because I was watching Davey." I'm serious.
Yeah, there you go. It's amazing. And also this girl you posted yesterday.
Julia plays groove. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, love that style.
Yeah, she's just with this like really blank face, she just nails it all the time. And just come on, she's
I was trying to explain to people like that. What she's doing is just as hard as playing a solo. That's what I was kind of trying to explain to people.
Yeah,
it's just
people don't know. People don't even. Realize the bass frequencies, they just people hear the vocals and the guitar. That's it.
Yeah,
and the snare. So
I was the same when I was a teenager. I didn't know what a bass was for a while. Then
you want to be Slash, you want to be Axl Rose.
But then you realize you'll always get into a band if you play the bass because they never have enough bass players in any town. Like so.
Yeah, especially good ones. There's not many good ones.
No, solid. Be solid on the bass.
Solid, exactly.
That's where it's at. But we might meet on tour sometime, hopefully, if you're over in the UK, like on a tour or something.
So how was the Camino? You didn't.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot.
Camino.
It was great. I loved it.
Which one did you do?
That's a good question. I didn't actually know much about the Camino. Like I knew like it was the walking holiday, but I didn't do any research. So I ended up booking a flight to Santander and walking to Bilbao, which is backwards.
Yeah.
So I walked backwards for 10 days.
The Camino del Norte.
Camino del Norte, but I walked backwards.
So did you actually meet people the other way? Say, man, where the fuck are you going? It's the other
every
way.
Day at every conversation. You're going the wrong way. I know. It's okay.
So you did from Santander to Bilbao?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is,
How long did it take?
I think it took 7 days, and then
Okay.
I took 2 days off the end to just hang out in Bilbao because I know people
Yeah.
there from playing shows.
Okay.
So
Where did you play in Bilbao? What venue?
uh,
Bukowski? Sala Bukowski?
Le Café Noob, you know, it's
Oh, Anube.
up
Okay.
Nube, and I went into the cafe, and they were looking at the posters on this. I was in the posters from an old
Oh,
gig,
yeah.
and they're like, "What double take?" They gave me free drink for the whole night. Like,
Really?
I couldn't pay. I was like, "Come on, I can't drink free all night." And they were like, "No, it's fine."
Did you go alone on your own?
I was on my own, yeah, on the Camino.
Well, that's how you make out how you do the Camino on your own.
What about you? When did you go, and where did you go?
I did the whole thing. I left from San Sebastian and I went till Santiago. So it took me like a month. But yeah, August.
Awesome,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Also, this year we made it like 2020. Everybody told me that it's like the best year ever because there was no people, you know.
Was it not scary being in the hostels with? Because they're very close, aren't they? The hostels, and they're not the cleanest in the world.
No, they are. They actually are.
Really?
I've been, yeah, every place I've been to, it was clean. Maybe one or two, but you know, over the whole thing, like I say, every place was clean and really. No, it was cool. I never had a problem with the
Yeah,
hostels.
I'm thinking
Actually
of.
enjoyed it.
I'm going to do the full one. So you did the full length of the Del Norte one.
Yeah. The Norte, it's kind of harder. It's more difficult because there's a lot of up and downs, as you know. But it's like very rewarding, especially the second part from Oviedo to until Santiago. It's like beautiful. Camino Primitivo, amazing, man. Just do it if you have the chance.
Did you train for it? I didn't train much. I just walked for a few hours for a few weeks, and
I didn't really train, but I kind of go. I like hiking in the mountains. I live next to the mountains, so I did go. You know, I pretty much every Sunday, every weekend I go hiking. So I'm kind of trained. You know.
Yeah. Did you stay in that Albergue? How do you say it? Not the hostel. The Albergue, is that Albergue? Is that what Albergue. Did you stay in the one up in the mountains run by a priest? And
yes, I did.
It's free. Everything is free, which is not the reason why it's awesome. It's awesome because it's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And this cool priest runs it, and he
Ernesto, it's his name. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. Like.
Yeah. Though you meet the coolest people. I mean, it's. I think it's a life-changing experience for me. It was like, you know, really. I don't know. I came back. I felt changed. You know, much calmer.
I felt like it was like on a drug. You know, when you get to the 8 hour of a walk.
Yeah,
you just get hit with this like. You're in the zone or something.
Yeah.
At 4 hours, you're in pain. At 8 hours, you've never felt better in your life.
There you go. Yeah. And then it's like when you finish, when you get to Santiago, say, "Oh no, seriously, man, what do I do tomorrow? You know, what the fuck do I do?
I don't want to go back to the real world.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back."
You're like Forrest Gump. You just want to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. Like a good experience, man. Like beautiful.
Brilliant. Well, have a nice evening, and
thanks for having me, man.